I said, just before we get on with the speeches, I'd just like to thank Andrew and his team for setting this event up. It was very quick, and as Andrew said, and it took a lot of organization. Thank you, Andrew and team. I know it wasn't just Andrew, but it's Melanie and Angelo and everybody involved, so thanks a lot. So I haven't been in ECTS for a very long time, but my history with Jim actually started in around, I don't know, 1995. We actually worked on the Ford project for a bit, and he mentored me through TM3270 printing at that time. So that's when I first met Jim. But I have to say, just that really appreciate and thank you for all of your service to ICBC. I think it's been an extraordinary run. He's, as I said before, he's been first in many areas of here at ICBC, including but not limited to this recent Unix platform. Have to use this? Is it better like this?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. Most recently in his path is the Unix platform. He was instrumental in the introduction of Unix to ICBC. He was also the technical lead on the
yes, he was.
in the implementation of the SAN environment here at ICBC, working with Michael Marion at that time. I think it was Michael Ridley, I said. And so I can't really talk about his MDS pass and his mainframe pass, but as we were talking this morning, he told me about the first V10 and the first MDS and the first, I don't know what else he was there. Yeah. So he's been here. I know he took a break from us and went to the dark side for a time being, but then he was enlightened and came back to us. But I just have to say thank you very much for all your technical leadership. We all appreciate it. And what I'll miss the most is just your good nature. You make me feel good at the end of the day when after talking to you, and I really will miss that friendship. So thank you.
So I hope you guys don't have to go back soon because I have a pretty long speech.
What a surprise. Yeah, what a surprise.
Maybe that's why I left enterprise computing. But you know, one of these days I'm going to come back to infrastructure soon anyway. So, no, it is actually a great honor for me for Andrew to ask me to speak a little, because I think I've worked with Jim probably the longest than any one of you. And as a peer techie,
Outside of Ken.
okay, outside of Ken. That doesn't count. Ken's been here like 40 years, right? So, you know, when I was thinking last night, you know, what I'm going to say in these things, you know, you start looking at keywords to set up the speech here. So, like things that come to mind, like Jim is very hardworking. He's very dedicated in everything that he does. You can throw him anything. He might not like doing it, but he will do it. So he's a great performer that way. He's very skilled technically. Whatever type of technologies that we give him, he will accomplish whatever he needs to. He's very, very disciplined in his work. So he must have really good schooling, so his parents must have you know, put him through university very well. He's a very quiet guy, so some of you guys have been saying, well, I didn't know he worked here you know, during those years and these things. And so he's very quiet, unassuming. But you know what impresses me the most with Jim, and I hope a lot of us will learn quite a bit from it, I have, is that he leads a very, very balanced life. You know, he spends a lot of time with his family, but as you know, he spends a lot of time at work. So that's what I admire of Jim, if I could ever remember, you know, through the years and think about Jim, if he doesn't call me anymore, right? But as Leona alluded to, time at ICBC started in the early 70s, went away for a while because maybe he was fed up with certain things at ICBC. I don't know why he would that. Came back in, I think, 1995, just before our friend Dominic Murphy left. Edith put him into a certain position, and then we put Jim in various positions. Worked in the mainframe Unix area, so those are the key points of his career at ICBC. But more specifically, there are two themes. The major one is that Jim leaves behind a lot of legacy in our systems, as Leona alluded to. Not only the mainframe stuff, I can talk a lot more about the SAP system, the data warehouse system. With the data warehouse, more specifically, we were one of the first or second people in the world to put a data warehouse on E10K. And a lot of you guys might not know, but we've been written up in Sun journals and all these type of publications mentioning Jim on the data warehouse system. So, from us being proud of having Jim work with us, but also all of you guys might have learned a lot from Jim through these years too. Again, the SAN storage, I think, with Jim, he started working with SAN storage, and he helped a lot of other techies learn the SAN infrastructure and start building that. But those are systems, and you guys all know, what Jim contributed to. But what I see as a manager, and also as a peer, that Jim leaves behind a legacy of peer mentoring, and also, management mentoring to some degree. So, we have great techies still with us to this day. Where Susan Patel, she's got where she is with the help of Jim. Matt Sawasi, I can say that. Pete Dixon. Heather Scott's worked with Jim. Jay Kyle, who left, but Jay Kyle worked quite a bit with Jim on the data warehouse. C-Mac Sachi, Curtis, and myself. But with the other things that with vendors, Jim works very, very closely with vendors. So like with Kevin Kurtz and Cindy and those type of people, Jim, I think, enjoyed working with them also. But also, I think it's safe to say that they learned a lot from Jim also. But with managers, Jim has really helped us a lot. Although he's not a manager, but he's helped, Sharon Krager, Keith Wong, Vilko, Curtis, Jerry McGrath when he was doing the SAM stuff, and Leona and myself. So, as we move on, we will think of Jim. So there are trigger points in our memories where when we see cans and bottles, we think of when we think about SAP, we can remember the days. Cheryl can remember that Jim always said to us he will do anything in SAP except transports. I guess to this day he still hasn't done one, and he doesn't need to anymore. That's various reasons. Cindy from Sun, whenever I think about Cindy from Sun, I remember the time when she came to me a few years ago, he says, I know Jim is sick and these things during that time frame. Cindy said to me that she was really scared herself. She was actually almost sick because she really liked Jim. She really worked with Jim very closely, but it affected her when Jim was sick. Fireworks, in the hockey games, when we ever think about that, I think of Jim being able to, like with a well-balanced family life, he always liked to bring his son or some member of his family to these type of things. So I really admire him for that. And most of all, when we think about family, we think about Jim. So in conclusion, Jim, we all thank you from your friends, colleagues, and me personally. Congratulations and wish you the best. And definitely will be missed. I hope you can continue to enjoy the time and dedication to your family, and also golf, passion. But also when people move on to other chapters in their life, their friends, family contacts change, obviously, because there's different priorities. hope that we can keep in contact with you. As an incentive, I'll personally take you out for a round of golf, aside from that. So this year, for us to be able to contact